What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back today. Well, I actually had another video planned for this, and in the middle of recording last night, the Boss 1.5 event, we got a data download. And if you guys didn't know, and I hate to admit this, I should have paid attention, I should have known on Tuesday, but I was so sick, I just didn't notice. We got a major delay for 4th anniversary, or 5th anniversary, which is really good, actually. So hear me out on this. So the delay for 5th anniversary is awesome, because that gives us another week to clear all these EX missions. That means there's a chance of S clearing this, and I don't think I have a prayer of S clearing this. I just don't think I have the team to do it. But we're here to talk about 1.5. So we can slow down on this. We can go back to one video a day, finally finish up, take our time, see if we can do for these last three just the general, A-B clear, and then do the S clear like we did before. So that's really what we're going to go back to at this point. But I already have a team built for 1.5, and I want to try something out here. Now, I will warn you guys, 1.5 is where it starts to get a little tricky. 1.5 will remove your debuffs, and then late in the fight, right before you do your SA, will also remove your buffs. So you got to be really, really, really cautious. Now, you do need a dark team here. The other thing to bear in mind, it is single target, and it does call for a worm killer. Here's my biggest issue, though. All right? So, appreciate that. You should have done that earlier. Anyway, nevertheless, I've been playing this game for quite a bit of time, and apparently just initiated the reset. Whatevs. So, going back in here, 1.5. Okay? So, if I'm looking for a dark, always click 4-star, though it really doesn't matter at this point. Worm killer, thank you. That gives me two options. I have Alan and I have Hegni. And here's my biggest issue. Hegni is only, and I do mean only, level 60. I have no bonds in him. I didn't spec into Hegni at all. And I really kind of don't want to. Like, Hegni's good, don't get me wrong here. So check this out. 60% per each self heal reduction skill and dark attack damage buff skill. So, you got a really, really, really good chance to do a lot of damage there. Appreciate that, Adobe. Anybody else? Anybody else while I'm recording? Appreciate that, guys. Electronics, everyone. Gotta love them. So if you do the math on this, I can control the dark, dark attack damage buff. That is going to be around about, whatever it is. It's going to give us 60% of the adventure side and the assist side. Cool. We already know that. That's pretty standard. We can also pretty much presume that he's going to give himself the heal reduction skill, but we're not going to have heal reduction on the assist side. That said, that's an extra 60% we wouldn't have anyway, and that takes us up to the normal 180% buff that you would get from someone that gets like an 80-90% buff. So it's a really good skill. Like, this skill is phenomenal. The biggest issue I have with no bonds or anything like that, I don't think he's going to produce, at least on the level that I'd like him to. Now, we could try this. I just don't really foresee it being a very good run. The only thing that would be kind of nice here is he does do physical resist down 40%. He does do single target damage. I don't think he does dark resistance. It does not look like it, at least here. So we would be kind of lacking the dark resistance. So we'd have to do that through another unit, and I don't really have another unit in my build that would currently do dark resistance. Maybe if I built it out a little bit more. But even then, at level 60, I just don't see him kind of producing the kind of numbers that we would hopefully like to see. Maybe I could test him out later. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a magic team. Also, by and by, this is going to ask for a physical team. So really what I'm doing is I'm saying, cool, you want dark? Gotcha. You want physical? We got magic. You want a worm killer? But let's see if this fully maxed on a broken team can pull it off. Now, here's the deal, guys. This is going to be vitally important to the run, okay? We've done a couple of these before where we had like +2, +3, +4, whatever, with the killer skill. And that killer skill is huge. That killer skill is just massive. But this is kind of that like test. You know, is the killer skill really that big of a deal? Because we've got a fully maximum broken team here that, by all accounts, should be able to pull it off. So let's take a look. Though, in fairness, the killer skill does chip away at their health over time. So, I don't know. We'll see. All right, so we got 33% as engaged charge. Everyone else is going to do their general attack stat, or buff stack. I skip her skill 3. I just don't find it very useful. So I'm going to do skill 2 and then skill 1. Just because skill 2 is basically her buff. And then everyone else is kind of like a 1, 2, 3 build. Okay? We got some debuffs there. We got some buffs there. Let's go. So that's the one thing you really do got to pay attention to here is like paying attention to the buffs, paying attention to the debuffs, making sure everything stays in play. This is what's going to be interesting. Now, I use Welf here. Welf does give a 25% single target damage buff, but technically so does she. So that actually means I can skip her second skill, and I can go straight onto the third skill. Now, once again, she doesn't really have a second skill, so to speak. I mean, she does, but she doesn't. So she's going to go onto her primary skill. She's going to go onto skill 2, because skill 2 for her is her buff and her debuff. So it is what it is. I do really, really, really like her for that. She has a really, really, really... Elfie has a really good... Basically, a like, host of skills that she could pull from. Because she has a ton, and I do mean a ton of debuffs that all are going to help us out. Okay? We're going to go and do Dawn Wind with Haruhime. Everyone has the 33% of Seigen's charge. Remember, this is going to basically continue the buff stack. So let's go ahead and take advantage of that. And then we're going to go on to do skill 3 with her, and we're going to continue skill 3 with everybody else. Okay? Now, the big caveat here is at the end of this turn, Haruhime is going to remove her buffs. Her. I said that completely wrong. Your opponent is going to remove their debuffs. Wow. Haruhime is going to replicate buffs. That's what I meant to say. But our opponent is going to remove the debuffs. Notice all those debuffs are gone. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do Night Storm. We don't really need to replicate debuffs now. All debuffs are getting reapplied. So, we'll do Night Storm, and we'll go ahead and just reapply any debuffs that are applied. Now, this unit doesn't have any debuffs, so we just stick with third skill. Elfie needs to rebuff this anyway, and actually wouldn't help to rebuff this as well. Though, that is kind of the debuff right there. That said, you know, one turn to rebuff it, I don't think is that big of a deal. We'll be lacking a debuff for one turn, but I don't think it's really like the end of the world, if I'm totally honest. Boom. 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 There we go. So then we're just going to basically redo the buff stack with Elfie and with Filvis. Wherever you is just kind of sticking to what she does. So, we'll go back up here to the magic resist down 40%. We'll go back up here to the single target plus 25%. Night Storm. Dawn Wind will need to be rebuffed on the next turn, so we'll do Blowing Wind to keep all the debuffs in play. And we'll be pretty good here. Now, I did use Wealth for his 25%, and I know it's kind of redundant. It gave us an extra turn of doing a little bit of extra damage with Filvis. If you didn't notice, Filvis did her attack after Wealth anyway, so it really kind of didn't matter. It was just kind of a moot point. My only other option would be to use like a defensive buff there, but since Elfie already does a 40% reduction in strength and magic, I really didn't want to couple that any further. I didn't want to go any further with that just because we don't need zeros. We need to counter. We need to make sure we're doing some counter damage. Okay, so we still have all of our buffs here. We still have everything good to go. So we're going to go do skill 3 with everybody. And Haruhime is going to rebuff Dawn Wind. Yeah, we're just basically going to move on with our day. Boom, boom. See, we're getting hit with like really, really, really low numbers. You're like a couple hundred damage each time. So if I had done a defensive buff here, we'd be like receiving 0 damage. We'd be receiving nothing. So I don't want to really put myself in that situation. Okay. We're one turn left on all of those. But I do believe our buffs are going to wear out here shortly. Let's see. I think it's this turn where the buffs are removed. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I'm actually going to save this. Because I don't want to do that on the turn where buffs get removed. But I will rebuff hers. And that. And then Dawnwind, I think we're good for several turns. So, debuffs are still in play. Buffs, I believe, get removed here shortly. Actually, yeah. So she still got her magic and architect damage. So we're good to go there. Okay. So let's just rebuff this so she gets a little bit of extra attack. I would love to rebuff this, but if I did, then I'd have to rebuff it again next turn. It's kind of pointless. So let's go. Basically, it means one turn where we're not getting the extra attack, but it also means the next turn where we're getting her like single target attacks. So it's, in my mind, maybe I'm wrong, but in my mind, worthwhile. Boom. Now, in a perfect world, see, there go our buffs. Our buffs are just gone. Well, actually, no, they're still there, aren't they? I thought the buffs got removed. Okay, apparently our buffs never got removed. Meh, it is what it is. Let's see what happens here. I could swear that I read the buffs got removed here. Maybe I messed up the last run. I don't know. But let's see what happens. So I stay corrected. The buffs don't actually get removed. That's very, very strange. Either way, we're building up to our quad essay. We basically missed like one turn of Philvis's extra action. I don't know if it's really that big of a deal in hindsight. And our opponent is now crippled. So, downside here. Look at how much health the Basilisk has. 12 million. Yeah, you're not reading that wrong. It's a lot of health. So we would have to hit him hard. And I mean hard to beat him. So let's go in here and let's just see what we've got, okay? I don't think we got 12 million in this team. I think we would have to have Hegni max limit broken to do that. And that ain't going to happen anytime soon. 1.2. 1.8. So we got about 3 million there. If we have 9 million here, we'll be good. We'll be set. Hit us with that 9 million, girl. I was joking. And old girl was like, how about half that? How about half that 9 million? And I said, beggars shan't be choosers. Now, this is that point where I kind of do wish I had Philvis's extra action. But, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. I'm not mad. So the resistance buffs got removed. He removed his resistance buffs, but he didn't remove the other debuffs. So let's see. Dawnwind's got one turn left. Oh, you know what it is? That's what it is. So I bet you Elfie's debuffs were one turn. That's what that was. That's the big kind of caveat here. So I'm kind of wondering now, knowing that Elfie's stuff is one turn, I'm going to try something a bit silly. Actually, I don't know if we have the... I don't know if I have the... Let's see. It's still 9 turns. It is 9 turns. Let's just try something here. I'm gonna go completely off the cuff here, and I'm gonna just probably lose my mind, but I'm gonna try something completely outrageous. And I know most people are probably gonna lose their minds over this. Just follow me here, and I just have to test this out. So we know pretty much there was not a way for us to finish that one in 9 turns. Ooh, we need. Okay, so we had about the right Memoria, but we had all strength. Let's grab some magic here. Now the real downside is we don't really have magic to the end of the turn. I didn't modify my Memoria from the last run. Man, that Memoria would be really good. All party strength plus 6% towards the end. I'm going to keep that in play. Oh, don't go. Go back. I'm sure that's going to eat up some of my stamina. Let's just try something weird here. Just follow me for a moment, okay? Now, this is going to be completely insane. I don't know if it'll work, but it's like the one chance I have, okay? I'm not going to bother giving her a weapon. I'm just going to give her a swap anklet. There we go. And let's just see what happens here. So now knowing that our buffs stay in place, some of you guys might like have a clue of what I'm about to do here. It is a bit weird. I will not deny that. But just follow me here, okay? Boom. 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 Let's go. Because in my initial run through, I could swear that he removes buffs on turn like 6, 7. But perhaps that was my late night run last night. Maybe I forgot to rebuff Haruhime or something. It was the middle of the night, so it's really hard to tell. So I'm going to do SA Gauge Charge 100%. Let's give her just like one turn of SA Gauge Charge 100%. I don't know if this is going to make the difference, but follow me. This is kind of like my one chance to like force this team to with a turn 9 clear. Just to like brute force a turn 9 clear and see if it works out. I kind of don't think it will, but it to me is worth a try. So we're gonna go Dawnwind here. Everybody's gonna go up to their skill 3s. That does mean that we're relying on Philvis for her debuffs, but we kind of are anyway. So I think we're golden. Okay. We got a re-debuff here. So single target 25%, but I'm going to go... Yeah, I'm going to go down here. Down here. We'll rebuff all those. She is good. We'll do Night Storm, and I think we're fine in here. Sorry, guys. This one's going to be a little odd, a little off the cuff, and just a bit wacky. But just hang with me for a moment, okay? So, and I should have done this a bit earlier. I'm okay. I'll make this work. I'm going to go ahead and give everybody Haruhime's buff right out of the gate. I'm just going to do it. Okay, we're turn 5. We're where we need to be. I hope this doesn't hurt us. Let's just play it cool here and see what happens. Okay? So, we'll go ahead and continue our debuff stack. Think we're golden on that. Debuffs are good there. I don't know if and I probably well, I couldn't have done it last turn. Well, yeah, I probably could have done turn 4. Turn 4 would have been the sweet spot for this. I don't know how much of a difference it'll make. We'll have to see by the end of this. The downside is this could cost me my triple SA, but I hope not, and I don't know. There's one other thing I could do to maybe modify this. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Blowing Wind there. Everybody else goes under their skill 3. And basically next turn we've got to, like, you know, reinitiate their extra attacks. So, yeah, let's go. Let's go. I think we got this. I hope. I really, really, really do hope. I just need a triple SA on turn 9. We're going to have a triple SA on turn 9. We might stand a chance. I'm kind of starting to doubt myself, but you know what? I'm not going to doubt myself. I'm going to stay the course. We're going to rebuff Dawnwind. We're going to rebuff the extra actions here, because both of them need that. That puts everybody on the same turn. Come on. Come on, game. 2 more turns. 2 more turns, and we might have this. The only way, and the more I think about it, I probably had to put the eyes assist. I probably had to put the eyes assist on somebody on the front line. If I had eyes on the front line, we most likely would have this. Because it looks like we might be just a hair shy. Let's play this by ear. Buff's all still in play. Yeah. Give us the triple. Give us the triple. Come on. I don't know if we have enough in it. I don't know if we have enough SA gauge charge. I really, really, really need it. Okay. So we got the triple. That's good news. Now, we did take 2 mil off of his damage. So I don't know if this is going to be enough. It does mean I probably had to do it a turn earlier. We might be able to do this, though. So we're going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to keep Blowing Wind engaged. We're going to do a... this gives 100% dark attack damage. Magic and Dark Resist. Remember I said that was for 1 turn, so it did get removed. And we do get that there. Downside is I don't have the Memoria to do like a late game magic buff, which I wish we had. We don't have. But let's see. Now, the other downside here is we're not going to have the same buff because we are doing 3 attacks, not 4. We still got a mill, which, you know, we only lost like maybe 100k off of that. 1.5, good hit, good hit. So we're 2.5. Now, this is not going to be hefty enough. 3.7, no. No, so let's see how much health is left on our opponent. So the one thing that I could say here, there's a possibility that maybe throwing Hegni on here at level 6. So we have 3.4 mil left. So the other option, and this is my other thought process, there's a way to backdoor this. And I'm going to fart around with this, and I might come back and recover this. At this point, just basically building up another, like, you know, double SA. We would A clear, B clear, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, you see the end in sight, right? Like, everybody sees where that was going. Here's the deal, guys, okay? When we go out here to do a clear, I could complete this without losing any members. Get the A clear, right? To clear it within 9 turns, I don't have to finish this without any members. I just have to finish it within 9 turns. So if I sacrifice, if I basically build up an SA, and I build Elfie as a sacrifice for her SA, there's a possibility I might be able to pull this off. So you see the A clear in sight, right? We have the A clear. I wish I actually had completed the A clear and not backed out, but we're like 2-3 turns away from an A clear. We'll come back and revisit this, and maybe we can backdoor an S clear. Stay tuned, guys. We'll do a little research. I might put a bond into Hegni, and we'll see if we can force this to happen. Stay tuned.